Okay, we're online. Should we do a quick round of intros?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, who wants to go first? I guess
I'll-
always the one that's asking.
Daniel, you go.
Go, Daniel. You're the captain.
All right, I'm Daniel, head of design at Neuro. Super excited to be here and talking about the entries and the winners today.
Hi, my name is Irina Kozlovskaya. I am the design director, director of industrial design at Fitbit, and super excited about this opportunity to participate and had a blast looking at all the amazing entries and judging.
And I'm Ewan Cullen, Director of Design at Fjord, a design and innovation agency.
Great. Maybe we'll jump right into the criteria. We talked quite a bit about how to evaluate the design, how to judge them. Irina, do you quickly want to walk us through that?
Sure. Well, we wanted to look at each entry in a really well-rounded way. So we looked especially at the impact. So will this product have a positive impact in the world, and will it have a broad reach? Innovation, of course, is something new, different, pushing the boundaries, doing something really special. Craftsmanship, of course, is it well executed? Is there good attention to detail, etc.? And then, of course, the emotional content. So does it strike an emotion? Does it make us feel happy or sad or excited, or does it really touch our hearts? So that's what we looked at when we looked at it. Okay, I was going to say it's super interesting to see how this challenging time that we're in will actually impact the world afterwards. Obviously rough for everyone going through this now, but just like wartime in the past and other kind of difficult periods of time were usually moments when a lot of innovation was born. So I'm actually super curious to see what happens
now. Great. Should we jump into the winners? Let's start with the runner-ups. Runner-ups.
Yeah.
Okay, you win.
All right. So one of the runner-ups that caught our attention is Litho. It's a 3D input device for 3D environments. So imagine, what you do with a mouse, but in a very different environment. And we thought the detail and invention that went into designing that new type of input device was no simple task, and the job was executed really well. It appears to be very intuitive. The object is also not very intimidating for the type of service it provides. So I thought that was really notable. We thought the choices in terms of architecture, in terms of visuals and style and materials, the simplicity of the execution was really worth rewarding here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. I appreciate breaking away from the traditional ring form factor for the reasons that Ewan mentioned. Also, it's just a fresher look.
Great. The next runner-up, Google Pixelbook Go, and we talked about this one for a long time. We think it's a really well executed product. So kudos to the Google design team for implementing their design language in a really consistent way. I really enjoyed looking at the use of materials and textures, and it felt like overall it was a very optimistic interpretation of a laptop that I can see myself using.
And the other thing I wanted to mention is the efforts that as a company, as an organization, Google has put into promoting high quality industrial design is really worth mentioning.
Yeah, maybe a special shout out to their CMF team. I thought the color, material, and finish on the laptop was really quite nice. And also appreciate how that color, material, and finish is used to tie all of the Google products together and create that cohesive family feel.
Great, and that brings us to our winner.
The HoloLens is the winner, and much debate was had on who the top contender would be. But at the end, we decided with HoloLens was it because of the potential for high impact, especially in the current environment. We were really excited by the multitude of possibilities for use for this product. ranging from telemedicine, which is of course incredibly relevant right now, even thinking about the frontline workers in the medical field, and folks who might be far away from a really sophisticated hospital. It seems like it would be super relevant. And of course, with the remote future of work and studies, just the possibilities seem endless. And of course, for students, I think it could be an incredibly immersive tool right now. That's about kind of the impact and one of the biggest reasons why we chose the product. But we also felt that for a second generation, this was incredibly well executed, and really appreciated the human-centered approach and focus on ergonomics, and the attention to detail that was paid, particularly in that area of design.
To Microsoft and their team, and I thought they found the right amount of design. It's not, it's not too much, it's not too little. They've done a really nice job of just putting the right pieces together and creating an object that lives on the head that is overall very simple.
Yeah, and reflecting what Daniel just said, kudos to the design team at Microsoft for executing a second generation product that we all know and imagine that has been as challenging as designing the first gen, and the level of quality for designing a wearable that on top of it you wear on your head. We know it's a pretty amazing type of challenge, and they did it really well in the execution.
Yeah, and even looking at the number of components in the product, just putting that all together in a really clean form looks like it was a challenge and came together super well.
That gets us to students. I think similar to the professional category, I was really excited about the entries and the quality of work that I've seen across the board. And
should we start with the runner-ups?
Sure.
All right, I'll get started with the first runner-up, which doesn't have the most evocative name, I would say. The name of the entry is Est & Co 01, and it's from the University of New South Wales. And the product is a sleeping aid, a device that helps you monitor and perfect your sleep. We thought this entry was very professionally executed from a visual standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, branding, all the imagery, everything was really crisp and really well done for student work. This is really amazing work, we all thought. What's interesting here also is the area of sleep science, or for us mainstream users, has been is essential part of our lifestyle, yet has been a bit underserved either by the studies or by the type of products and services that are associated with sleep at least until recently. So this is an area that is developing really fast, and I thought the work that the students have done were showing signs of trajectory for us to incorporate that study of sleep in our life, in a lifestyle that feels normal and not medical, for example.
Yeah, it was nice to see also like the level of craftsmanship in the product, the attention to detail. I think the students did a really nice job on the app as well. Really thought through, as well as the packaging that I personally really like. So I felt like as an entry really well rounded.
Yeah, I agree. It really sang together as the whole package. And I like how the product would change your environment and make it more comfortable for sleep. But also, again, kind of bringing things back to the current time in the crisis, having a space that's really comfortable and calm could be very pleasant right now, even if you're not sleeping in it. So it might be nice to have a retreat like that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we move on to our next runner-up on the student category? It's Jewel from Umeå Institute of Design. This was a concept that we thought was quite interesting. because it was dealing with energy and teaching kids about energy in a way that felt both very natural, but also really, really fun. Obviously, energy is a very important topic as we talk about environment and climate change. And I think it's just so important to teach our children about being responsible with energy. Personally love the archetype that the designer chose for this, using kind of building blocks or toy blocks, which is something kids are really familiar with. And also connecting them seems really natural. So the concept didn't feel forced at all. It just flowed together. And it seems like something that would be super easy for a child to figure out how to use. So I'm looking forward to a new generation of energy responsible kids coming after having used this product.
It's also a really nice design process. If I look at the images and the research, I felt like it was really thorough, and I like when students build things by hand, and you see some functional prototypes that have the electronics.
And on the storytelling, I love the personal touch. Talking about the designer's own family really made me connect to the product and made it really easy to understand.
Great. That brings us to our winner. And our winner is I'm Not. A product that we talked a lot. I think these days I've seen quite a few interpretation of a musical instrument and a redesign. I haven't seen quite an execution like this one. Products or shapes I have not seen in this form, and some of them we were struggling with as a team, and some of them we were super excited. But I think as a whole, this was a really cool project.
Yeah, I remember my first feeling when I opened the images is just kind of pure amazement and being like, wait, I have never seen anything like this before, which is so hard to do, especially in the world that's like ultra connected and everybody's posting their work online, and you can access to anything on any blog. To be able to come up with something completely original is feat in itself, I think.
Yeah,
it's very special, and it put a smile on my face like nothing in a while, and it was something I really needed right now. So it actually had a huge emotional impact in that sense.
Yeah,
I think as we all mentioned, we were on the edge of being uncomfortable with the visual execution, the decision that was made on some of the shapes, the colors, the details. In this case, this product could only be executed in the context of school, and where it's an area where, or time in your career where you have the permission to go and explore. And in fact, it's an obligation, because
we felt like we had to be really open-minded and allow ourselves to perceive a musical instrument in ways that we haven't thought about before, which was kind of a fun experiment in its own.
I wanted to thank all the individuals behind those entries. The quality was pretty phenomenal. It had us challenged at times to decide, which of those concepts is worth an award and which one needs to be, debated a bit longer. I think in general we were really delighted by the quality and challenge at once. So thank you.
I don't have much more to add. Really enjoyed everything and going through the process also with you too. So thanks for making time, Marina and Yuan, and Core 77. Thank you for having us.